measles and she died in the spring. What do you think I did with her heart? The very best saddle that you ever did ride. A saddle and bridle and several other things. The sow took the measles and she died in the spring. What do you think I did with her nose? The very best thimble that's ever so close. A thimble and thread and several other things. The sow took the measles and she died in the spring. What do you think I did with her feet? The very best pickles that you ever did eat. The pickles and glue and several other things. The sow took the measles and she died in the spring. What do you think I did with her tail? The very best whooping that's ever saw sale. Whooping and several other things. The sow took the measles and she died in the spring.
If you go from Cleveland to Timbuktu, you're not going to find a better bunch of folks than Peffersburg. Real people. Simple American apple pie people. And I am pleased as punch to be mayor for 5 terms. 4 of them consecutive. I did 4 terms, and then I lost to Mary Ullman, who was our first Republican mayor since the early 1970s. I mean, honest, there were no hard feelings. We were friends. She had a bang-up job as mayor, too, until she ran off the middle of the night and never came back. She did a ribbon cutting at the Corn Dog Palace, and then she was gone. They gave her free corn dogs for a year. Jeez. Well, I guess, after the fact, they found some skeletons in her closet, fudging the budget, putting some money in her pockets. I mean, if she would just done her time, they probably would have reelected her. I mean, I've been mayor for a long time, and I've got a lot of free stuff. But have you ever eaten at the Corn Dog Palace? They're better than States Fair, and they're better than Sonic. They are the very best. I mean, it wasn't worth disappearing over. I even tried to get the same deal she got. Oh, Christ. No dice. Plus, her kids, I don't know, I guess. There's something to think about. That's good. Lots of weirdos in this world, that's for sure. And Peffersburg certainly has their fair share. And I guess that's why you're here. Our local celebrity, huh?
We got a 1039, possible 1016 Bravo out of 235 Old Harlow. Please respond. 10-4.
Don Scrotaheim, Peffersburg County Sheriff's Department. Got a call about a breaking and entering. Kind of a unique call. Suspect is about 6 foot, 6'1", wearing a bright green jumpsuit. Eccentric. Don't worry, nobody's in any danger. We get calls about this at least once a week. It's Garbo Hungus. Hey, Garbo! What are you holding there?
This
Drop that thing to the ground right now. Put it down.
Okay.
What are you doing here, Garbo?
Skirt time, you're just in time. You're just in time to help me. I was walking by here just a few hours ago. There's this real good-looking fella looking in the windows. It looked like he might have been a salsa dancer, maybe an instructor or something, like a ballroom dancer, boys. And I said, "Hey there, mister, not around here." And he took off running. So I came back over here. I broke a window. I let myself in just so I could surprise him when he comes in the house. I'd still be able to catch the prowler when he comes out. He's a good-looking, squirrely man.
So you broke a window.
Yes, sir.
And then you let yourself in without any permission. Did he have your permission?
Oh no, they were at work. So they came home. They told me to get out, and because they're trying to feed their boy some supper, probably some raviolis or something. Which, by the way, that's very nice of you to feed your son raviolis because it's real nutritious. And if there's any leftovers, you just heat that up and give it to him for breakfast.
Garbo.
Why's their camera here?
Don't worry about them. Worry about me. Look at me.
Am I gonna be
I
on
want you
TV?
to understand me right now. Okay? You broke into someone's house without permission. You cannot enter someone's house without their permission. That requires a warrant. I can't go into somebody's house, and I'm a real police officer, unlike you.
I don't understand anything you just said, Don. I really don't.
All right, you know what? Put your hands up against the wall. We'll explain it to you in jail. You're under arrest.
I'm going to jail again?
Yeah. Yep.
You guys, is there any ice cream or them pudding cups over there that I could have? Because I haven't eaten. I had a few Skittles while I was inside.
Garbo, it's Sunday. They don't serve those on Sundays. You know that.
This just how it goes sometimes, folks. People get mad, emotions run high when you're in the police. There's just sometimes the big dog's got to put the young pup in a timeout.
Garbo.
And that's just how it is when you're in police.
This isn't a timeout. This is real life.
Well, I'll be out in time to see that. What channel's this going to be on?
Watch your step. Come on. This
Probably,
way.
I bet
Keep
Fox, probably.
Deputy will be by in the morning. Take your statement. Thank you for your patience and have a good night. Watch your feet. Keep
You want
going.
me to take her
Garbo, you have the
statement?
right to remain silent.
1022 Anderson, it's just Garbo again. Something wrong with that boy. Over.
10-4.
This TV producer from Toronto came down wanting to do like this reality TV show called Ohio 5-0 After Dark. And she called me and seemed like it'd be a good idea for the town. So for a few days, while myself and some deputies were out on patrol, we were followed around by a camera crew. I mean, I tried to explain to her that there's nothing really exciting about Peffersburg, and I guess I was right, because the show never did make it to air. But that clip of me arresting Hungus, well, somehow went viral up in Canada and pretty much nowhere else. Got about 1 million views or something like that, and I guess that's why you're here. That's why pretty much anybody ever seems to come here to Peffersburg these days. We try to be accommodating, we really do, but with all these people coming and going constantly, wanting to take pictures with Garbo, getting autographs, it gets to be pretty distracting. I mean, right now we're trying to track down a wanted fugitive, Arthur Wayne. Wanted for a string of armed robberies and a home invasion, and he also took a artifact.
He stole an artifact?
And he stole a very valuable artifact from the Historical Society.
Sheriff?
What is it, Willie? This is Willie Krieger, our newest deputy.
Just got a call them Hogan girls got caught stealing Tic Tacs at Cruntley's Pharmacy. They've got them there. Parents are MIA. Want me and Chief to take this.
Yeah, you and Wendy go ahead and bring them in.
Should I bring the shotguns?
No, I mean, they're children. Just bring them in, please, okay? I don't know what the big deal about Hungus is or what the fascination factor here is. Frankly, we have bigger fish to fry.
If Jesus could live anywhere, I think he'd want to live in Peffersburg. He'd fit right in. We're not just Christian. My congregation, I would say, is Christ-like. We don't care who you are, where you've been, what you've done, what you look like. We're going to break bread with anyone because God loves everyone. We're a pretty progressive group, you might say, which is why I think Jesus would love to live here. He'd fit right in. See, God has blessed me with a gift, and I think that because of my own background, I've been doubly blessed. The poor, the addict, the outcast, the youth, I know how to get through to them. I speak their language.
Hey dudes, got yourself some hooch? I mean, it sure is a hot one. That ice cold beer would really hit the spot. You know, I remember my first beer. It's about your age, Nevaeh. Me and some buddies back home would go to the local dump and knock back a cold one, eventually more than a few cold ones. Next thing I know, I'm stealing a bottle of Cuervo out my folks' liquor cabinet. Then one day, I find a bum, I rough him up, I steal his flask. You see where I'm going with this? By the time I was 19, I was drinking perfume and huffing ether. I had to start bare knuckle boxing to support myself. Now, is one beer gonna kill you? No, absolutely not. What about a 350-pound gangster named Killer Keith who tells you you're gonna start taking dives or I'm taking both your thumbs? Because that's where my first beer landed me. That could have killed me. Now tell me, on a hot day like this, is one beer really worth it?
Now, Jesus and Mother Teresa and Gandhi, Dr. King, they're all divisive figures. Garbo, I would say, is also a divisive figure. He's an odd duck maverick and a nuisance, but he really just cares about helping people.
I said it was a hot one.
Sure, technically he's an outlaw, but we're not talking about Bernie Getz walking the streets with a revolver here. I know the sheriff isn't fond of him, none of the police are, but really he just cares about his neighbors and this community, and he just wants to help. The only problem I can see is he's just super out of touch with reality. And you know, he's obviously... Well, I mean, the guy's real funny looking.
Well, I get a lot of mail. Look at that. Well, every morning I get up and I feed my birds, and I check the bird houses, and I feed Mrs. Horse, that's my canine, and the kitties. I do my morning patrol, and then I check the mail like 4 or 5 times, just because you never know. But I'm sure that y'all didn't come down here all the way down here just to see my bird houses or my dog or nothing. So let me just get my gear, and you can see what the special police is all about. Well, where to begin? I was born Garbo Crispin Hungus in a ladies' department store fitting room in 1979. And my upbringing was very unremarkable. I'd say just a typical American childhood. My father was a Swedish immigrant driving instructor named Boom Boom Hungus. And my mother was a surly Hungarian dog groomer named Sherlina Vasquamancho. So pretty standard fare, I'd say. And when I was a toddler, my parents noticed that I was gaining weight in strange places. I had very chubby feet, very chubby knees. And they took me to the doctor, and I was diagnosed with early onset Chung's disease, it's a very rare condition. It affects as many as 6 people around the world per year, or as few as 0. And with Chung's came a set of unique challenges. I couldn't go in the public pool. I couldn't go anywhere near a blueberry. I couldn't sniff peppers. There's just a very limited nutritional range, things that I can eat. I can eat hot dogs and cheese balls. I can drink a lot of water, a lot of goat's milk. So I got to take over the counter, just take a pill and take a Flintstone. I was addicted to Flintstone vitamins. I chewed those things up all day long like it was candy. I had to switch to men's one a day, and now I take a prenatal. Just all that stuff that comes with Chung's. And that's why I feel so blessed that I'm able to have a career in law enforcement. Well, it appears we got that's definitely a red car. Got the air tires. That tread looks fine. That tread looks still pretty. That's probably a pretty new tire. We got Indiana plates on this one, so I know they're up to no good because they're not from around here. That means they're here to cause trouble. Not you ladies though. I'm not. Well, but y'all are foreign, so it's locked. So what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to get a rock or some kind of wedge so I can get in here and I can check the vehicle registration and find out who these people are and what they're doing here. Because I don't cotton to them Hoosiers coming to my state and just throwing their garbage all around.
Look, I've done everything in my power to set the record straight with Garbo, but he's not going to give up this special police thing anytime soon. Certainly not with all the attention he's been getting. You two are very kind, and I can tell you're very good people, all right? All of this is just encouraging. Hey, Willie.
Yeah, Sheriff.
Take this down to Darlene, get her to run about 100 copies and see if we can't get those dispersed.
You got it down. We're gonna get those pants back if we've got to die trying.
Over the past few months, we've had some armed robberies, like I told you. The Lucky Mart, Lou's Tavern, and one home invasion. Mr. Wayne is an alcoholic. He's no stranger to being in trouble with the law, but Most of the robberies, he's just taken the money. In the home invasion, a pair of pants of very historical significance were stolen. Very important to our town's history. People really want those pants back.
I am Dr. Candy Brown, the president of the Peffersburg Historical Society, and this is Liz, our vice president.
Hello.
So for the past few years, we've been trying to raise some money to open up a little museum to store and display some of the treasures we have accumulated. And in the meantime, we have been taking turns sort of babysitting the artifacts at our homes year by year.
It's mostly newspaper articles and old maps, and we have some tin-type photos and a charming collection of folk art.
The crown jewel of our collection, which we hoped would have been the centerpiece of our museum, were the Cyclone Pete death pants, which of course belong to famed Wild West outlaw and Peffersburg native, Cyclone Pete Berkowitz.
He's our most famous son, and we are very, very proud of those pants.
Cyclone Pete was born in what is now Peffersburg sometime around 1859. And in 1877, he traveled to New Mexico territory where he robbed 3 banks and became a wanted man. He traveled with the Lincoln County regulators for about a week. But from what we've gathered, Cyclone Pete had a very, very irritating personality. And it seems to have gotten the best of him because, as the story goes, in 1878, Jose Chavez y Chavez, made famous by Lou Diamond Phillips in Young Guns and Young Guns 2, shot Cyclone Pete 12 times in the groin as he slept.
He shot him 6 times, reloaded, and shot him another 6 times. Directly in the penis. How much do you have to hate someone to do something like that?
For more than 100 years, we have preserved the pants that Cyclone Pete wore at the time of his death. Yeah. And it might seem silly to outsiders, but they have really become a symbol of community pride. Our high school mascot is the Peffersburg pants, and we bring the pants to games for good luck. We bring the pants to potluck fundraisers. They are a huge attraction.
They are.
And unfortunately, they were burglarized from Liz's home.
They destroyed my crafting station. There were googly eyes and sequins everywhere, and they dismembered my sock monkeys.
We need those pants.
Those pants are Peffersburg. Our community loves those pants.
Don's gonna find the thief and bring the pants home.
Oh, please, Lord.
I mean, the TV show, that was a surprise and a blessing, and I'm glad that Sheriff Scroat-Time got his 15 minutes of fame, because I always thought he'd be like a good TV cop, like Starsky and Hutch or Riggs and Murtaugh from them Lethal Weapon movies. I don't know if you guys have those in Canada, but and it's nice being famous in Canada, like on the internet or whatever. I mean, that's not Hollywood, but that's pretty darn good. That's like getting a B- on like a test you didn't study for and had no business taking, and now you get to be like a dental hygienist or something. You know, I'll pin that to my fridge any day, you know, with a little magnet. And I also get a lot of fan mail now, so that gives me something to do. And it's also that's how I met my girlfriend, Vanina, and we're very much in love, but we're apart because she is incarcerated down in Kentucky, and hopefully she stops biting the guards and they stop being mean to her and making her bite them. Because I mean, no one's perfect, but my fingers are crossed that we can be reunited someday soon. 6 to 8 months.
the hell do you want, Garbo?
Sir, I know you like to listen to your music at a certain volume, but I could hear you clear down at the end of the block. That means all your neighbors can too. Some got kids trying to take naps. You might like listening to that trash, but I don't, and your neighbors don't. So you're gonna have to turn that down right now.
What if I don't want to turn it down?
You don't want to turn it down? Well, then you and I are gonna rumble.
Okay, I'll turn it down a little.
Have a good day, sir. Now, sometimes you just gotta be rough with them, slap them around a little bit, but usually it doesn't come to that. Yeah, we get a lot of noise violations. People are really loud. A lot of serial loitering. We get a lot of stench violations. Peffersburg is just a wonderful town, but I mean, there are just some stinky, stinky people here. It's just chock full of stinkers, and yeah, people just got some real bad odors on them.
I guess it's just one of those things. Nothing ever really happens in Peffersburg. Now, I remember a few years back, a kid won the 4th place in the Ohio State Spelling Bee. It was front page news. All caps, huge letters. Local girl wins 4th place in state spelling bee. You'd have thought it was the moon landing or the Kennedy assassination or the Hindenburg explosion. All for 4th place. So the fact that we got some dangerous criminal hiding out in our midst has got a lot of folks talking. Yeah, what really got them in a frenzy, though, is they stole our pants. We're damn proud of those pants. Now, I have got all kinds of faith in Sheriff Scrotheim. We all do. You know, he does his best to look out for us, protect us, even when he's chasing Garbo all over town. That guy's a loon.
Yoo-hoo. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes?
I am Officer Hungus with the Special Police, and I'm here to tell you, sir, that I saw what you did in that porta potty. Or rather, I should say, I was a victim of what you did in that porta potty, because that smell, sir, was criminal.
Smell?
It's a Class 9 stench violation, and as a Special Police officer, I'm going to advise you, you're going to want to cut all the meat from your diet, cut all the dairy from your diet, just drink water for a while, because well, you're gonna really have to do something about that smell. Now, I'm issuing you a warning today, but next time you're gonna get a ticket, and I'm very probably gonna tackle you right down to the floor, hog tie, and take you downtown. You understand? I'm talking arrest. I'm talking jail time.
I'll work on it.
Good afternoon, sir.
Have a nice day.
Mm-hmm. So I let him off with a warning, and then he's going to give me attitude like that. I'm telling you, ladies, this is what I deal with day after day. Got any tape? Yeah, I work a lot of cases, but the worst of the worst, public enemy number one, the pube and the meatloaf, that's them Hogan sisters. They say that the children are our future, but I honestly hope that's not the case, because those Hogan sisters, they're just some bad Hogans.
I don't know what's wrong with you girls, but you're all very lucky that Mr. Cruntley isn't pressing charges. Otherwise, you'd all be on your way to juvie right now if he was. Now, you're not allowed back in that pharmacy anymore. Understand? If he catches you in there again, you're all going down for trespassing. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Great. Hey, Wendy. Hey, I'm going to run down to the shop across the street from the Lucky Mart and check out the surveillance tapes. Keep an eye on things for me until I get back, will you?
Sure thing, Don. They're regulars.
Our mom says that Garbo's an idiot. He messes with them all the time. All the time.
I poop in his yard.
She poops in his yard.
I mean, I worry about the parents. I worry about their rotten little monster children don't respect the special police, because, I mean, if you don't respect the special police, how do you respect yourself? We moved to Peffersburg when I was still very young, and my father started the Hungus driving school. And my mother, she used to take me, we'd go around door to door and offer her services to the dogs and the dog owners in the community. And before too long, we bought this house, the Lovett House, and I love it. And we really got a good deal on this house. And I think the reason that the house was so inexpensive is because the people in this town are very superstitious. And my father was not superstitious, so he wasn't going to let a little thing like a few whores got murdered here keep him from getting a good deal on a house. So he hosed out that crawl space, and we moved in the same day. Okay, Nina. All right. Yeah, no. Absolutely. There's plenty of money on your commissary for noodle cups. And I even put a little extra on there so you can feel special this week, because I just love you to pieces. Okay, Nina. All right, I love you. They're doing that movie on me. I gotta go. Okay. All right. Love you too. Bye. Well, yes, sir. I did get your phone number from your mail. This is an official police business. I'm calling now just to tell you, you've got to keep pants on, sir. You got to keep pants and the underpants on, both, and you might even want to double up. Well, this is where it all happens. This is Special Police Headquarters, and of course, right now it's just myself and Mrs. Horse and the kiddies. But I think people really do. They love us to pieces around here, and I'd like to share with you a letter that I received from a grateful citizen recently. This is from Miss Janie Fitzsimmons, Peffersburg, Ohio. Dear Mr. Hungus, I hope that this correspondence finds you in good health. I would like to thank you for your actions on the 5th of March 2019 when I slipped and fell in the shower. I would like you to stop looking in my windows to check on me. She fell getting out of the shower. I like to look in on our senior citizens in this community just to make sure they're safe. And Janie, she's in her 80s, and she's really lucky that I came by, because she was actually wedged upside down between the toilet and the bathtub with just her legs in the air kicking real fast like that. And so I came in and I helped her. And these old folks, they don't have anything that I haven't seen before, and they certainly don't need to be shy around Garbo Hungus. I can tell you that. I'm just happy to help.
Yes, sir. We are also very concerned about those pants. And we're doing everything we can right now. Yes, the sheriff is up for re-election in 2 years.
I'll tell you how we're going to find him, because you got to understand something here. Sheriff Schraderheim has a nose like a bloodhound.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, but we will find those pants.
I was junior varsity my senior year, man. You don't have to tell me.
Don, I think we're gonna go get something to eat. You want anything?
No thanks. I'll get something later.
All right. Willie, let's go get a corn dog. Call it a night.
You got it, Chief.
Hey, you too. Good work today.
Thanks, Don.
Oh, Hungus is a criminal. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's always trespassing, invading people's privacy, harassing folks. I could go on all day. Stalking, okay? He's always calling me about the people he's following around, so I'm constantly getting calls from people about Hungus, but I'm also getting calls from Hungus. The other day I had to go down to the movie theater to get Garbo out of there. He was trying to shut the place down for excessive stench. This was at the exact same moment that Arthur Wayne and an accomplice were robbing the Lucky Mart. If I didn't have to clean up a mess that Garbo had just created, I might have been able to close the book on this case. Arthur Wayne and his accomplice would be behind bars, and those pants would be back with the Historical Society. Is this the work of a bargain basement folk hero or a public nuisance?
Now, believe it or not, I did not always want to have a career in law enforcement. When I was very young, I wanted to be a cowboy. And when that didn't work out, I wanted to become a pilot, And then a few years later, when that didn't work out, I decided I'd like to be unemployed. And I achieved that goal, and I was happily unemployed for a number of years. And then one day, I was at the supermarket, and on this particular day, I saw at the deli counter, they were getting ready to butcher like a 3 or 4 foot little shark. It was a spiny dogfish, I think. And I walked up to the counter, and I said, you know, is that a shark? And he said, yeah, it is. And I said, oh, can I hold it? And he said, I guess so. And I picked up the shark, and it attacked me. And I was just spinning around like a dervish with this shark attached to my neck. I was slapping customers with the tail, and I knocked over all these bagel bites, and I got blood all over everything, all over this really gorgeous raisin loaf. And my life flashed before my eyes. I nearly lost my life. I was rushed to the hospital, and against all odds, I survived. They were able to save me there. And it's still only the second recorded shark attack in the state of Ohio.
No, that's true. I actually responded to that call. Now, it's really something. It takes a special kind of stupid to get attacked by a shark in a landlocked state.
All rise.
So I got a big fat check from Food Eagle. And if there's anything that my near-death experience has taught me, it's that I was wasting my life. And so as soon as I got out of the hospital and they handed me that check, I started dancing. And I was just dancing up a storm in my room in the basement. Then the very next day, I was furiously practicing pliés, just one after another, after another, after another. And my sutures split open. And I almost bled to death again.
All rise.
So I sued the hospital, and I sued the company that made those sutures. And just for the heck of it, I went ahead and I sued Food Eagle again. And they found in my favor. They gave me another big fat check that's even bigger than the first one. And so ever since then, I've been doing okay financially. I don't have any worries in that arena. A lot of freedom to explore my interests.
Hungus and his shark bite money. We arrest him, hold him for 24, 48 hours, and then he can just bond right out, pay his fines, nothing sticks. It doesn't matter that he's a completely unrepentant, repeat offender, because he's well off. That, and there's something obviously very wrong with him. Night, ladies. I'll see you tomorrow. Drive safe.
Okay, it's 6 a.m. and we're outside this individual's house again. I came by, I gave him a warning, and I told him to clean up his act, and obviously he did not comply with my request. So we're gonna really kick things up a notch. We're gonna bop it into high gear now, and you'll see how what happens. This is why the special police gets the job done every time. Here we go. Come on out here, you smelly old dog! It's the special police. Get out of here, you sack of trash, or I'll tie you up and shoot you in the face. Oh, good morning, sunshine. It's me again. Do you understand words, sir?
What?
I said, do you recall the last time when I was here and I said to clean up that stink or I was going to arrest you? Do you remember that? Seems to me that you don't.
What time is it?
Oh, it's clean up that stink time, sir. It's take a bath and wipe yourself a clock. You understand? Now you can take care of this smell, or I can lock you in a cage with the rest of the stinkers. Capiche?
Please. Leave me alone. Or I'm calling the police.
I am the police, sir. I'm the special police.
Leave me alone. You hear me?
You just take care of that stench, or you're in for a world of hurt, Mr. Man. Well, you know what they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a stinky pig stop eating red meat and wash his crotch or whatever. But God, it smells like kumbaya out here, but we'll sort him out. Yes, we will.
I'm gonna need you two to pick up Jesse Kuntz and bring him in. I want to have a chat with him about the Lucky Mart.
He's the accomplice?
Surveillance footage shows him in the getaway car, clear as day. Ran the plates, came back, registered to him.
Shoot, Don, that is a big break.
I know, this is exactly what we need. Hopefully it'll get the town to lay off me a little bit, get the mayor to stop breathing down my neck.
Blowing smoke?
I'm just tired of getting calls about pants.
Liz Benny called about that this morning, by the way.
Apparently she had a psychic experience last night while dreaming and might have information about the pants' whereabouts.
I'll call her later.
We'll go get Kuntz.
Want to bring the 12 gauge for this?
No.
I think we need the shotgun.
Well, you don't need the shotgun. Just go out and bring them in, please.
Oh, and before I forget, Sheriff, we got a call and complaint about Garbo. Apparently he threatened to shoot Lee Combs in the face.
Even though being in a shark attack can really give you some perspective on your life, it can also be real lonely. So you gotta occupy your time. And so while I was recuperating from my shark attack wounds, I started focusing on my musical, my masterpiece, I'm Just Dandy. I am so proud of that musical. I put everything I had into it. I designed all the costumes. I designed all the sets. I stayed up for 12 days straight building sets and hanging the lights. And I hired a real orchestra. I got an amazing venue. I got a wonderful cast with equity actors. And in the opening number, I come out in this traditional fishnet candy salesman outfit. And I just, I go, I'm Dandy, I'm Randy, and I got a special friend named Andy. Come see what we got in store. You'll be back for more of my butterscotch candy. It was very good, and some people did like it.
The whole town gets invited to that play of his. All right, and we support the arts here in Peffersburg. We really do. And everybody was sitting in the auditorium in their Sunday best, and we're just genuinely excited to see it. The opening number starts, and it's just obscene.
Really weird. There's something wrong with that boy.
Hungus is up there dancing around nude or half nude, and all the actors in it are dancing around nude or half nude. I mean, it was about the gayest thing I've ever seen. And I'm gay.
And I just sang the finale of the first act, Paint It Brown. And I looked out in the audience and I saw my father. And he just had this stony look on his face, like he'd only get when he talked about the war. And I knew it was because he saw me as a man for the first time in my life. And I looked at my mother, and it was honestly, it was hard to kind of read her expression. She might have just been gassy because she didn't much care for live theater.
Bob and I are theater people. We actually met while I was doing Shakespeare in the Park, while I was doing my dissertation at Antioch. We have seen about 1 million shows together. Brigadoon, Fiddler, Sound of Music.
On Golden Pond.
We've seen some of the racier stuff too. Xanadu in Columbus, Rocky Horror Show. We saw Cats once. We saw Hair. I'm Just Dandy was the worst thing I have ever seen on stage. I mean, they did not have to have so many men's buttholes in that show. I mean, that show was just penises and balls and rectums, and that's just not right. I mean, I might have seen a glimpse or two of Rum Tum Tugger's scrotum and Cats, but I'm pretty sure that was just a wardrobe malfunction. I don't think that was meant to happen. I'm pretty sure.
We had really good seats right by the stage. I saw everything.
And at the end of the second act, I looked out in the audience, and my parents were gone. And I went backstage to look for them, and they weren't there. And I went out to the lobby, and they weren't there. So I just knew something was really wrong. I went to the police station. I filed a report. I didn't even change out my butterscotch and Spankies. And they looked for them, but they didn't find them. And a few weeks later, their car turned up outside McAllen, Texas, just completely torched. So I had a little funeral for them, and I didn't do much of anything for a while after that. Well, after I'm Just Dandy ended so badly in my parents' funeral, I fell into a deep depression, and I was going wild. I was going hog wild, going out to the clubs at night. I was dancing erotically. I just very sexual dancing with a lot of folks, and I'd do that all night long. And during the daytimes, I'd just lay in bed and eat fluffernutters all day. And so I wasn't taking care of myself. And my chunks caught up with me, and it caught up with me big time, and I developed a condition which is, it's a complication of chunks called big leg, and I could not dance anymore. I couldn't sashay, I couldn't pat a beret, I couldn't can, I couldn't kickball change. I could dance with my hands, but it just wasn't the same. And so I really had to find something to do with my life. And then one morning, I see that Scrote Time is looking for a new deputy. And it was just this big aha moment, like lightning bolt struck my head. And I thought, this is my lifelong dream ever since I was a little kid. I'm gonna be a police officer. These aren't my parents. They just died such a long time ago, it made me sad. Well, good morning, Scrote Time. You look like a grumpy Gus this morning.
I am grumpy today,
what can I do for you?
Did you threaten to shoot Lee Combs in the face this morning?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just joshing around with him. That's all. Can I have breakfast? Because I was in such a hurry to go to Lee's house, I didn't even eat any breakfast.
The police station is not a bed and breakfast, Garbo.
Can I get some hash browns or something?
No, we're not a Denny's.
All right. Don't rush me now. Sorry, lady. I'll be back. I got in trouble because apparently it's against law to tell somebody you're going to shoot them in the face.
Garbo doesn't own a firearm, does he?
No, thank God. Look, Lee says he just wants to be left alone. Got a temporary restraining order. Just got to serve Garbo his papers, let him know his court date, and just cut him loose.
Might as well.
When he screws up again, we'll arrest him, hold him as long as we can.
Gonna let Hungus sweat a little?
I'll deal with him in a minute. What about Kuntz?
He's over in Interrogation 1. Says he hasn't seen Arthur.
What do you score from the Lucky Mart? Like $400?
Give or take a couple bucks and like 6 cartons of cigarettes.
Yeah. Did he say anything about the pants?
Not yet.
All right. What about a lawyer? Has he asked for one?
Nope, but he's already cops at the Lucky Mart, so he isn't going anywhere.
Good. I'll go visit him in a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, boss. Guy called in from Prescott Park, said he was out on a hike and found Arthur Wayne's shoes by the North Ravine.
That's great. Go now. You and Wendy. All right? Wendy, report back with whatever you find. I'm gonna finish up here.
Think we should bring the shotguns?
No!
Okay, Jesse, you know what I want. Look, I don't know where Arthur is. Do you know where the pants are? You got mixed up in a bad situation here, Jesse. But I don't think you're a bad person.
We was just gonna take some old jewelry or whatever we could find. We wasn't trying to hurt no one. We seen the pants and he grabbed them and I knew right away those were the death pants. And I told him he ought to leave them be. So he sack checked me real hard and I didn't say nothing else. Slapped me right in the testicles. Smack my figs. So we got out of there and I told him we head to the Lucky Mart because we was planning to do that before anyway, and I'm a man of my word. But after that, I was out.
And you haven't seen him since the Lucky Mart?
Hell no. Like I said, he sack checked me real hard, real hard. I don't need that in my life, bringing all that heat, stealing death pants, and then he's whacked me in the groin. Well, I dropped him off at his house and we divvied up all the cash and the cigarettes, and then I drove off.
And did he have the pants?
Yes, sir. He had them in the backpack, a big blue backpack.
And you have no idea where he would have gone?
Nope.
I gotta really focus 100% on what the badge means so I can be a real proper cop.
You are not a cop. You are not a police officer. You are not a member of law enforcement. You know what you are? You are a pain in my backside. You are a nuisance. You are a pest. You don't solve any problems, you cause them. Now I want you out of my station and out of my sight.
I'm just trying to help you, Don. Stroke time, mister.
Will you please take him home, straight home, no stops?
Not a problem, Don.
Thank you.
Stroke time. I'm gonna make this right.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Yeah.
Got the shoes. These are Arthur Wayne's, all right. Men's size 10, initials AW written on the tag.
Well, that's great news. We're close. I have to leave. I'll meet up with y'all later.
I really hope Don didn't upset you too much back there, Garbo. He's just a passionate man.
Well, Reverend, I wouldn't worry too much about that. This is just cop stuff between cops, and, we're all just super burly, manly, strapping lads, and, emotions run high, and I let him down. But, he might be mad at me now, but I'm gonna make it up to him real soon. Just you wait.
You and I don't get to talk very often, but you should know I admire you. It takes a lot of strength and courage to stand up and do the right thing, and that's what you're doing. You're taking that proverbial road less traveled. It took me a long time to find that path for myself, but I remember the exact day I did. I was living in this motel on the outskirts of Tempe, Arizona with this 4.5-foot tall Japanese fella by the name of Sammy Yamashita. We were selling crack cocaine, whatever pills we could steal from the nursing home, making real good money, having parties all the time, living that high life. In fact, he gave me this tattoo, if you can believe it.
Oh, he was an artist?
Talented, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I really like the clown, how it goes from blue to green like that. I love that. That's very nice.
I didn't really know a whole lot about Sammy. Just kind of had to piece it together through observation. He spoke about as much English as I did Japanese, but what we shared was a deep love for selling crack cocaine. We became like brothers. And to me, that's what this tattoo represents. Brotherhood. Anyways, one night I went down to the gas station to buy some steel wool and paint thinner. By the time I got back, all our crack money was gone. And Sammy, well, he'd been decapitated. Head cut clean off. Near as I can figure, he must have had some kind of run-in with the, Yakuza, a fracas of sorts, and, well, I dropped to my knees, and I was about to scream. There was blood everywhere, and I was desperate, and I look over on the end table, and what did I see? A Gideon's Bible. Wasn't a drop of blood on it. And that was a sign from God, and from that moment on, I dedicated my life to ministry. Gotta say, though, this really saddens me. They never did find Sammy's head. They must have taken it as a memento or to engage in sexual intercourse with it.
Was this at an Econo Lodge?
Matter of fact, it was.
Well, I hate to tell you, Reverend, but you get what you pay for. You stay at a cheap motel, you're gonna find some cheap people. You never hear about people getting their heads lopped off at La Quinta.
No, you don't.
I always spring a little bit extra to stay at La Quinta. I think that's where you went wrong, honestly, because you couldn't pay me to stay at Econo Lodge. I love La Quinta. Love it, love it, love it. Can we go to Big Boy?
Sounds good to me, Garbo.
All right.
You just missed him. Followed the tracks right up the embankment. Looks like he switched shoes and took off running again. Got down to the road, tracks go cold. We'll find him though. You all like vodka? My parents died a few years ago in a car accident on the way to a Buckeye game. And they were good people, hardworking. My dad was a history professor and my mom was a hairdresser part-time. She taught me everything she knows about, combing hair, which is why mine always looks so salon quality. I miss them every single day. So when Garbo's parents went up missing, I just felt like I knew exactly what he was going through. I felt horrible for him. So when he showed up at the station the day we had an open call for a, new opening for a deputy, and I saw him sitting there next to everybody, smiling, I just couldn't bring myself to say no.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I owe my entire career to Sheriff Don Scroatime. I mean, it wasn't easy becoming a police officer. A lot of the other applicants, they just brought things to the table that I just didn't have. Upper body strength, lower body strength, a bachelor's degree in criminology, full use of their limbs, reliable bladder and bowel control. But I had one thing in spades that none of the other applicants had at all, and that's spunk. And there's nothing more important to being a police officer than good old-fashioned American spunk.
He couldn't run, he couldn't jog, he couldn't climb a ladder, he couldn't jump, he couldn't do a push-up, he couldn't do a sit-up. In fact, if he fell to the ground, which he did frequently, he couldn't get back up under his own power. Truth be told, I spent most of the day helping him back to his feet.
Sheriff Scroatime did not think that I would be able to pass the physical portion of the test, but I went out there and I strutted, and his jaw just dropped to the floor. I mean, it's because I was pushing myself so much harder than any of the other guys auditioning to become a cop. I mean, I pushed myself to the point of complete exhaustion, to the point that I actually fell down like a dozen times, and he had to actually help lift me up off the floor, and none of the other recruits fell down.
The written portion of the police exam consists of about 100 questions, and they range from anywhere from statutes to standard procedural type things to just everyday situations that you might run into as a police officer. If you are studying to be a cop, it's not an overly difficult exam. But this is Garbo's exam. I keep it around to remind myself. Here's an example of how his went. What is the standard protocol for a first offense DUI? Garbo wrote, if you can afford to drink and drive, you deserve a paddlin'. This was a multiple choice question.
And so they had us take like a written test like you do in school, and mine was just cram jam full of sassy one-liners, just, sass, 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 sass. It was sass in the grass. And I knew there's no way that Scroatime's gonna be able to tell me no, because here you got this guy, only recently decided his life's dream is to be a police officer, and he's already strutting, and he's already busting out sassy one-liners. If you think about all the greatest cops that ever lived, Starsky, Hutch, Captain Dobie, McGruff.
I mean, we've had people fail the exam before, but this is the worst test that's ever been turned in. Ever. I had a recruit die once before she could even complete the first question. Ventricular brain aneurysm. All she'd had time to do was fill out her name correctly, which we give points for. And technically, she scored higher on her exam than Garbo did. Because, well, just look. That says Grabo.
And I think about it, and that really was the proudest day of my life. Because nobody believed in me, and that was the day I proved everybody wrong.
I took one look at his test and decided enough was enough. And I called him down to my desk and I gave him one of those phony little plastic police badges you give to kids at schools. And I told him, look, I'm sorry, Garbo. Go home.
And he looked at me and he just said, you know, Garbo, I'm sorry. And he handed me my badge and he said, go home. And I knew at that moment, he realized I'm an even better police officer than he is. And I mean, I did so well on the test that I didn't even need to stick around for the rest of training. And so ever since then, I've been the creme de la creme. I'm just a highly specialized, unpaid special police force, just a one-man wrecking machine. And like, so here's me, and here's Sheriff Don Scroatime, and so that's not a huge difference right there, and I'm still just a little bit better. But then if I have a cold, if I have a wet rash, if I have diarrhea, it's more like this, and that's almost just the same. That's just a hair better. And so, I mean, if I have diarrhea, and I often have diarrhea, I'm only slightly better of a police officer than Sheriff Scroatime is.
My life is a nightmare. I tried to do the right thing. I tried to be there for one of my neighbors who was hurting. I tried to be sympathetic and kind. And the result is that Garbo Hungus thinks he is a real cop. This is all my fault. Look, I think it's time we call it a night. I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. All right. Thank you.
The thing is, though, that even though I'm a way better police officer than Sheriff Scroatime, he's always going to be number one in my book, because he is just the sweetest, wisest, most thoughtfully groomed man that I've ever known. And he maybe didn't think I'd be successful, but he gave me a shot at my dream, and not a lot of people do that. And he didn't have to let me audition for police, but he did it because he saw how important it was to me. And he might get mad at me sometimes and arrest me and throw me in jail, but he's always going to be a hero to me. I truly love Don Scroatime.
Okay, it's 5:30 in the a.m. The bike trail right outside Prescott Park in Peffersburg. He's Lee Carson Combs, and I can't make heads or tails of this, but he's at the tippity top of my stinky list, because look at what he keeps doing. He's been going from one porta potty to the next with these big old trash bags with him. And look at what he does. He just went in there. All right. Now, I don't know what he's doing with those bags. He must be saving his number twos in those bags. And that's the terrible stench is what's wafting up over the town. He's the Peffersburg wafter, but we got him now. You're the Peffersburg wafter! You're the Peffersburg wafter! I caught you on camera, you daggone wafter! He knows his wafting days are done. Your wafting days are done, P-Burg wafter! Daggone wafter.
Man, come on in. Yeah, have a seat, Don. This pants business, it isn't good, my friend.
I know.
Now, I know you guys are working this thing, but I've got to ask you,
are you giving this your all? We are, absolutely.
Well, if you are, where are those pants then? What's the issue?
Garbo, what do you mean what's the issue? Garbo, that's the issue.
You can't blame everything on Garbo.
He's making it impossible for us to do our jobs.
Look, Don, I'm giving it to you straight now, okay? You gotta catch this guy and find those pants, or I'm not gonna be able to endorse you in the next election, and you're gonna be out of a job. I mean, I've gotta think about my career here, right?
I'm doing my best.
You know, I know firsthand that Garbo Hungus is a problem. I get that. He broke into my house once, thought he saw a burglar, smashed the window in the kitchen, let himself in. The thing is, though, I was having chili dogs that evening, and I forgot to turn on the crock pot. I was so upset about the whole window situation. but he paid to replace it. And he turned the crock pot on for me. Oh, I make a mean chili dog too. It's really something. I mean, I start out with a pound of ground burger in a pan and let that get browned really nicely. Then I transfer it over to a crock pot.
Sounds like a really tasty meal there, Rudy.
Yeah, you bet your pasty white behind it's tasty. Now I've got every confidence in you, Don, but I'm letting you know as a friend, you're on some thin ice right now.
I'll get it done.
Kuntz isn't talking. Whatever he knows, he ain't saying. He did confirm those are Arthur's shoes.
I don't think he's lying, honestly. I don't think he knows where he is.
Sheriff's Department, Chief Deputy Anderson speaking. Oh, hey, Carl. Okay. Wait, last night? Do you have surveillance video back there? Okay, don't touch anything. Don't let anyone go back there. We're on our way.
What?
Last night, Food Eagle, Stockboy goes out for a smoke at closing time and sees someone who looks like Arthur Wayne running away from the dumpsters.
Bingo.
Go. Now, let's go. Go on. I'm right behind you.
Hey, Don. It's Lee Combs. Sorry to call you on your personal number. That Hungus guy's been following me around since he first knocked on my door, rifling through my trash and my mailbox. I've been trying to ignore him, but I take prescription hemorrhoid cream that I get in the mail, and I think he stole my cream. It broke 100 degrees the other day, and I'm in a lot of pain. I know you've got a lot on your plate, but I thought this was going to end with a restraining order. So, if you can get that cream back for me, tell Garbo to stay away from my house, stop following me, and digging through my trash. I'd sure appreciate that. I know you're busy, but I just can't live my life anymore. I've got hemorrhoids. Thanks.
Damn it, Hungus!
You coming, Don?
Just go. I'm right behind you. You ladies are gonna have to leave right now, all right? I need you to get out of the room. Please just clear the room. I need you to step out. Yo, Garbo, this is Sheriff Scrotaheim. Listen, you need to leave Mr. Combs alone, and if you stole any medicinal ointment or mail or anything at all from his house or mailbox, you need to bring it down to the station and give it to me so that I can return it to him. Mr. Combs hasn't done anything wrong, and you are not a police officer. If you go anywhere near him again, I will arrest you. Thank you. You ladies need to leave right now. I need to get going.
This is the most extensive operation the Special Police has ever undertaken. Now, each of these stickers represents a porta potty in or around the town of Peffersburg. And right now, we're trying to track down Lee Carson Combs, the P'burg wafter. I know it's Lee Carson Combs because I've surveilled him, and I know his name because I stole his mail. Now, this is Lee's house, and it's not actually that far from the sheriff's station. And this is my house, and it smells like grapes. And this is the Hogan's house, and it's just a big old piece of poo with some stink lines and some flies, because them Hogans they're the worst. Now, Lee Combs has been taking big old bags of his number 2, and he's been depositing them multiple times a day into each of these porta potties, and a great big old nasty stench rises up and it wafts all over the city proper. Now, yesterday he went into Cruntley's pharmacy and he bought himself a tube of hemorrhoid cream, which by itself is not incriminating, but given the facts of the circumstances of this case, it's just another piece of the puzzle. His butthole's in distress, he's pooping up a storm, filling up those bags multiple times a day, he's turning inside out, he's the P'burg wafter. Well, it's not every day that I gotta dig this deep inside the, special police arsenal, but for Operation Stinky Hawk, I'm pulling out all the stops, got all the bells and whistles. First of all, this is my tactical police cell phone camera, which I duct tape it up here to my noodle, so that way it's hands-free, and everything that I see, it's on the phone, so I can look at it, I can review it later. It's admissible as evidence in the people's court. And then this is my special police tactical twine. It's for hog tying folks if I have to restrain somebody, but it also has these little tassels in case I got to get information. I can tickle someone with that. So that's it serves multiple purposes right there. This pretty self-explanatory. This is a tactical police knife, just like the real police use. Special police use it too. Just in case I find myself in a hairy situation, someone doesn't want to comply with what I slash and gash or whatever, that's all right. Pretty simple. If I need to do some stabbing, I'm prepared to do some stabbing. And this is probably my favorite piece in the whole thing. This is my Special Police disinfectant spray. It's a tactical disinfectant. First of all, it's a full can, so if I got to whack someone on the noggin with this, I absolutely can do that. But y'all out there in TV land, you can't smell this fella, but that Lee Combs, man, that place smells like a bunch of wet pigs. So this really does a number on that odor. It's a fresh scent, and so when that stink sticks to my clothes and stuff, I spray down, and you never knew it. You'd never know it. But the best part I'm saving for last. If you guys want to walk with me down to the park real quick, I've got something to show you that is just going to blow your minds. This is the best part of the whole thing. This is it. This is the Special Police tactical minivan. This is the Garbo Mobile. I haven't been able to catch that wafter because he's quick as lightning, and I got a big leg. I'm slow as paint drying. So, this way, if he tries to run from me, I could just mow him down. Crunch munch time for lunch. No muss, no fuss. Just like they do on Starsky and Hutch. I was talking to the Reverend the other day, and he said he'd sell me this dirty old church wagon as long as I was licensed to drive. I said, I'm a grown man, Reverend. Of course I'm licensed to drive, which is a little old white lie, but I mean, how hard could it be? So why don't y'all come with me, take her on her maiden voyage. Cooking with gas now. Listen to this kitten purr. Oh man, tomorrow Peffersburg Wafter's not gonna stand a chance. Operation Stinky Hawk is cock-locked and it's ready to happen. Hop on in, it's just like Starsky and Hutch. Woohoo! All right, Dad. Oopsie daisy. How do I make this thing go backwards?
So he ditches his shoes at the ravine at Prescott Park. He runs 5 miles into town. It's cold, it's dark. He's hungry, he's scared. About 9:45, he runs up to the dumpsters behind the Food Eagle, okay? All right, he's looking for some food there, thinking he's gonna score something to eat. It's dark, but you can tell well enough on the cameras. Stock boy comes out for his lunch break, opens the door, he's gonna grab a smoke, spooks Wayne, runs off into the woods, and he leaves behind his blue backpack. Just like Kuntz said, no pants though.
No pants and no money.
No pants, no money. Willie, I want you to go back into those woods and see if you can find anything else.
You got it. Let's go, Chief.
No, she's gonna stay. Willie, I think you're ready to go it alone.
You serious?
I am.
Go on, kid.
Wow. Can I bring the shotgun?
No.
Okay, I'm going.
Are you all right?
I don't know.
Well, look, I know you're under a lot of pressure, Don, and I know how you get, so let's put this in perspective. He's probably hungry as hell, jonesing for a drink, he's sick of roughing it in the woods, he has no friends and nowhere to go. At some point, he's just gonna get sick of it all.
You think we can wait him out?
Yeah, I do. I think that if we don't catch him, eventually he's gonna walk through that door and turn himself in. So, if I were you, I'd get out of this office. I'd go home, clean up, and get some rest.
Yeah, maybe.
Sleep on it, Sheriff. Peffersburg will still be here in the morning.
First tip we got was Arthur might be down here camping out. Turns out, it's just some kids having a bonfire with their parents. You know, for you all, this is just a show. This is just entertainment. And when it's all said and done, you're gonna pack up and go back up to Toronto and that'll be that. But Peffersburg? Peffersburg is my whole world. I was born here and I will die here, and I love this town and I love these people. Serving this community has been the single greatest honor of my life. But right now I feel like I am letting everyone I love down. I feel like one more misstep and everything is just gonna come crashing right down.
We're from Halifax.
Tomorrow is Operation Stinky Hawk.
Me and the kiddies should really be sleeping, but we just can't. It's like Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's a big day. Scrope Time's gonna be so proud of me.
A bunch of houses got egged last night.
Hogan's.
Wants to go talk to him, Sheriff?
I don't care.
Scrope Time! Wait, where the heck is everybody? Hey, Scrope Time! No, he's not up there either.
Scrope Time! Scrope Time! Get your gear! It's Operation Stinky Hawk! We gotta go! I got no time to explain! Garbo, get here! But it's not very I've finally figured out which one of these pedals to go and which one's the stop. This is Lee Carson Combs Street, and I can smell it already, displaying my intention to turn. I've been reading a little bit. Okay, here we go. Gosh dang it. This is it. Come on, Lee Carson Combs. Get hungry for justice.
Garbo, you are under arrest.
We're gonna get you, I got wafter! Wafter! Yeah, we got you now!
You're under arrest right now! Down on the
Scrope Tap!
That's it!
Scrope Tap! Scrope Tap! Scrope Tap! Scrope Tap! Scrope Tap!
Hey! Down on the ground!
Scrope Tap, he's gonna get away!
Hands behind your back!
Hurry up now!
Anderson, Krieger, get everybody down over to the... Get everybody down to the Combs house right now! I've got a dead body! I've got one in custody!
Dang on Wafter!
Yes!
Wafter! Garbo, get on it! Jeez, oh Pete, Jiminy Christmas. What the... Hey, Scrope Time, do you notice there's a dead body over here?
Come on, Garbo!
The heck is that, you Wafter? Wasn't pooping them bags. Ow.
Good evening. We have called this press conference to report to you that earlier this morning at approximately 7:19 a.m., myself and members of the Peffersburg County Sheriff's Department were led to a property here in Peffersburg where we discovered human remains. We have one individual in custody at this time. We will release more information as soon as we are able to. This is a homicide investigation. We are cooperating with the FBI and other law enforcement agencies, and we will continue to strive to keep our community safe in this difficult time.
Sheriff Straderheim, how many bodies did you find at the property?
This is an ongoing investigation. I'm not at liberty to discuss any of those details at this time.
Who exactly led you to the property?
A concerned citizen. I am not at liberty to discuss that at this time.
It's Garbo! Garbo!
Garbo!
Garbo! Garbo! Garbo! Garbo! Garbo! Garbo! Garbo! Garbo! Garbo! Garbo!
All told, the FBI forensics team were able to recover the remains of 37 individuals from around Lee Combs' property. Additional partial remains were discovered in porta potties across town. He basically dissolved the bodies, separated out the bone, and then disposed of the soft tissue in porta potties. Among the bodies recovered from his property were those of Arthur Wayne and Mary Ullman, our former town mayor. He scattered their personal effects as well in various trash cans and secluded areas. We know now that the individual from the Food Eagle surveillance tape, whom we originally thought was Arthur Wayne, was in fact Lee Combs, attempting to dispose of Arthur's backpack in the dumpster. As it happens, they were of the same approximate build. A very unfortunate coincidence. Lee Carson Combs, the Ohio werewolf, one of the most prolific serial killers in American history. A lot of the victims were transients, people who rode the rails into town, hopped off the train, and never hopped back on again. Combs was a purely opportunistic serial killer. He didn't go after a specific type the way you see in most serial killing cases, which made him extremely dangerous to the community and basically undetectable to law enforcement. They suspect he could have killed upwards of 100 people over the years. We've been getting international coverage on this, and the media has been criticizing us for being incompetent. But you know what? That's not fair, okay? Because you have to understand that it is not at all uncommon for someone to just drop everything and leave Peffersburg without a word. And we can't exactly take a survey of every single rail rider who hops off the tracks here in town. Despite all that, it's only fair to say we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to Mr. Garbo Hungus.
Get on here.
Honestly, I've just tried to take everything in stride this past year. And I've decided I'm going to step down as sheriff when my term is over. I think I did what I came to do as sheriff, and now it's time to end that chapter of my life and start something new. Hungus has been much, much less of a problem these days, so that makes my job a lot easier. We've actually been getting along pretty well these days, as a matter of fact.
Got me. You got me. This guy.
That's what we call a classic goof.
What would we do without you, Garbo?
I mean, we always believed that Garbo's heart was in the right place. He get into trouble a lot, but that's because he didn't have any support.
You know, after Lee was arrested, Candy and I decided maybe we should help Garbo. So we joined the special police. Next thing you know, other folks joined, and now Candy and Garbo basically run the whole thing from our kitchen table. It's basically a neighborhood watch.
And we have a rotation, and we go out in pairs, and everybody, including Garbo, gets to help. We only go out once or twice a week. I mean, the special police has really become a force for the good in the neighborhood. When people see these t-shirts, they know that we are there to help.
We'll help carrying groceries, change a tire. We're doing the Lord's work.
Also, the Historical Society got the death pants back.
Yes, they did.
Yep. After the FBI got done analyzing them for blood and seminal secretions, they gave the pants right back to us.
All's well that ends well. Praise Christ.
Well, it's just something else that I've done. It's another feather in my cap. I don't think that I'm a hero, although a lot of people do. I just want what anybody else wants. I just want a neighborhood that is safe and it's good smelling, and where we don't have to worry about our seniors or our children or any folks like that. And for a lot of people, things are pretty much the same here as they had been. A year later, most folks don't pay no never mind to a bunch of dead hobos or an Ohio werewolf or what have you. And I'd also say that a lot of people do prefer the Peppersburg wafter name to Ohio werewolf because it's catchier and it's more creative and it's just a better name. So a lot of things are pretty much the same as they were, but there's at least one thing that's changed. Sorry ladies, old Garbo Hungus is off the market. Vanina and I were supposed to get married in the springtime, but she ended up getting her sentence extended about 18 months because, you know, there was a misunderstanding. There was a little fracas in the cafeteria. Someone took one of her tater tots, and so she ended up stabbing somebody. Could have happened to anybody. But that's all right, because instead of having just the big wedding that I'd planned and paid for, I ended up taking a little mini vacation out there to Paducah, and we got married in the prison chapel, and it was absolutely it was the most romantic thing that ever happened. And I just love her so. We are soulmates, and she has, in the last couple months, just enriched my life so much. And now that the Special Police has like 15 people in it, the Reverend, Candy Brown, my goodness, I have so much more time. And Vanina is helping me with so much, even from prison. I'm dancing again, working on my choreography, I'm working around my big leg. And she even has me now focusing on my musical again. And so I'm writing a new musical. It's a sequel to I'm Just Dandy called I'm Still Dandy, Captain Randy.
I'm still making butterscotch candy. No, you can't keep the fella down, can we? No, I'm still dandy, Captain Randy.
So, you know, you just gotta keep on chasing that dream, no matter how wild or illegal it might seem. You gotta just keep on walking toward it with your head held high, because there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You know, don't pay any attention to personal safety or laws or restraining orders, because you might just solve a bunch of murders and find your own Vanina too, just like I did.
Woo-wee! Still getting lots of fan mail here. Wait. Ah, rotten meat again. Oh, dang it, you Hogans. I just got ants coming out of this can. It's a big old can full of ants. Not going to say what company the ants are coming from, but it's Coca-Cola.
I mean, we'll go out and we'll do rodent removing.
We go and we exchange bird feeders.
I'll reupholster your car. I'll remove some illicit substances.
Yep, that's going to poke someone's eye. They're going to have to prune this tree. That's gonna jab. Do someone a real quick stabbing jab. That's what I call that. I'm gonna knock on their door.
We replace some pumps.
Break out a window if you need to get in your house. You lock yourself out.
Unclog downspouts.
This is Montana Street, Hannah, Montana. Her tour bus broke down right at this exact spot, and the sewage was all clogged up. So she had to actually knock on that house over there, and she had to ask them if she could use their bathroom.
I can disinfect a bathtub for you.
And they said yes. And from what I understand it, she was very clean and polite. Sometimes late at night, you can hear the critters out in the woods and all around. They make all these noises like cheep 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 cheep. You can hear it.
We also offer new services where we are cat doulas. You know, it's going to have a litter. We can help that right along, make the transition nice and smooth into motherhood.
I was thinking about putting my dog to sleep for no reason at all. But the vet wouldn't do it for any amount of money, so I'm just stuck with it. So I've been having him sleep by the microwave.